Hey there, thanks for tuning in. Today I will be doing my top games of March 2026 that I've played, the board games I've played in March. I've got only 7 this time compared to last month where I had quite a bit, but a lot of these I played more than once. So, what was your favorite game you played in March? Or if you didn't play in March, a month before. Alright, so number 7, this is Signal. This is a relatively new deduction game. I didn't quite get it, and it wasn't my favorite. I knew this was going to be last, like, immediately. Played this at my local library this month. So, I don't know. Maybe I should try it again now that I knew a little bit better what I'm doing, but it didn't really thrill me. And then number 6, this is Silver and Gold. I talked about this back in February. It was my number 8 game last month, when, a much bigger month. But again, just as a quick reminder, it's kind of like the most basic flip and right. And I'm realizing now that flip and rights I enjoy much more than most of the roll and rights, which I do like quite a few of them. But with the flip and rights, there is set values of cards that can come out. And I think that that adds more tension and fun, and you can plan and be a little bit more strategic than with rolling. When rolling dice, you could get the same thing every time. You could roll the same, low value number every roll. So, I enjoy it. I think it's a good introductory flip and right. It's a little bit easier than ones that I like better than this one, but it is a good, like, first one for sure. Easy to teach too. Number 5, this is Moon Colony Bloodbath. This came out, I think, last year or early this year already. And I thought it was a deck building game, and it's really not. It's more like you're just trying to avoid disaster and keep your colony going as long as possible. You want to go until at least the first person runs out of people or like things to get people. I played this at the library also and thought it was quite interesting. I actually won this one on my first play, but I didn't quite understand a lot of the almost like the engine building aspects of it, and I feel like those always take a while for me to like figure out what exactly I'm looking at. But must have done well enough because I won against people that had played before. But it was cool. I don't know. I enjoyed playing it, and I'd play it again. But I don't know that I would want to be the person that sets it up and is in charge of flipping it and flipping cards like consistently. It seems like a lot of upkeep for the person kind of running the game, and I don't know that I would want to do that. But again, playing it and not being that person, I would. Number 4, this is another game that I got at the virtual flea market from Escape Winter last month. This is Doggerland. This is a worker placement tile laying game, and I'm terrible at this game, but I do like it. There's a couple little thematic things that I don't like, and I don't know if they like change the balance of the game, but there's some actions that are inside that require an outside fur, and like outside that makes sense during the winter rounds, but during the winter rounds when you're inside, like some of them require that stuff and some don't, and everything requires this pickaxe tool, and it seemed like some of it shouldn't have, like just thematically. But maybe that's me over analyzing it, or maybe that's my anthropology or archaeology expertise kind of coming in. But aside from those tiny little disconnects, I do quite like it. And it is really funny when certain animals that you're really looking for to complete your paintings or just for their resources that they give do not come out until like the end of the game, or you hunt them to extinction or something. It's interesting. I do like it. It grew on me more the second play, I think. Number 3, this is Age of Atlantis, The Age of Atlantis. I think this company is gone now, which is kind of sad. I was really interested in playing this one for quite a while, and I got a chance to pick this one up also at the virtual flea market at Escape WinterCon. And it is also a worker placement game, but it's almost like a semi-co-op tower defense worker placement game. And I really did quite like it. It has like a tech tree I think it's like that sweet spot for me where it's not so basic that it's like, why is it there? And it's also not too in depth that it's like you need a master's degree to see what you're looking at. And you have these armies, like historical armies. I think it's like Persian army or the Roman army that are coming from different little sectors on the board because it's a circle. And you build these buildings that can do things, and everybody can use your buildings. And armies are coming, and you're trying to defend your buildings because they're worth points and stuff. But you also maybe need somebody else's buildings, so you're like trying to defend all of it. And I don't know, I find it very interesting. Very cool game. I feel like there's a lot there to unpack. So 2 worker placement games this month, which is not usually my genre, but I did enjoy them quite a bit. Number 2, I talk about this game constantly. This is Heroscape. I went and played another scenario, and I'm realizing the scenarios are not numbered. They have a map, and then they come with 2 different scenarios within that map that you can play. And I kind of combine them. There's like a basic one, and then there's a master one for most of them. Basically using master set rules, but with the teams listed in the basic. But we played the second one, and I quite enjoyed it. I think the point values of the teams are not even, but there's not a lot of synergy between them, and I think it's almost refreshing to not have to sit there and creatively come up with a map or to build the armies, which I do really enjoy doing those, and part of why I like this game so much. But the scenarios kind of allow me to just set it up and play. And that's been quite nice. This scenario I didn't quite like as much as the last scenario, but I realized I forgot the glyphs from the master set scenario on this one, so maybe that would have played a part of it, but I still enjoyed it, still liked it. And probably going to do the next scenario, the next map scenario this month. And then after that, the ones after that are all build your own armies, which a little bit more work, but I'm excited to do some of that too. So down to number 1, this is the Quest for El Dorado. I played this at the library, and I had a copy. I bought it at a virtual flea market years past, and was taught the game. It's a deck building race, essentially, where you're trying to be the first to find El Dorado, and I really like it. My first game, I sucked. I got stuck on a spot that you needed 3 of a symbol, and I had bought it like almost right when I got there, and I was like, oh well, it won't be that long, and I can like buy up other cards so that I can breeze through the rest. And I was like relatively at the start of my deck when I bought it, so I had to go through my deck all the way, reshuffle, and then it was at the bottom of my deck the second shuffle. And of course, because I was sitting there just buying cards, my deck got huge, and then it took forever to find it. I made it about halfway through the board when the game ended. I was probably somewhere around 55-60% way through. So lessons learned: do not buy too many cards. But then I played it with Katie at home, and then I played a 3-player game teaching somebody else. And then I actually saw somebody playing it yesterday at an event, or 2 days ago now at an event, and I was like, oh man, I just learned that one. So it's a bit, I think it's like almost 10 years old now, but it's still around and still doing stuff. I would love to explore some of the expansions and things for this. Yeah, I got to play a nice upgraded version at the library, and then my own copy that's not as nice, but still really enjoyed this one. This is gonna ruin my my top games of whatever that year it was released list is, because I really like it. But that is my games of March. April is already looking pretty good, and we got a couple birthdays this month, so I don't know if that will mean more or less games for this month. And I did have a game night planned the other day that didn't happen, but I have one kind of scheduled for next week, and there's one this weekend planned. So a lot of stuff coming up next month is looking like it'll be at least this big, if not bigger. And now that I'm caught up on all my monthly stuff, I can do my other videos with lists from Heroscape and top games of each year and all sorts of other fun stuff. So come back and take a look. Thanks for watching.